Hi guys, and welcome back to another video on the wrestling review. Well, Daniel, this is similar 8 back to Ash 2026 odds. Um, just briefly, I'm going to have a quick summary of what I thought before we get into what I thought of the matches. Overall, I thought the paper of view was better than what I thought it was going to be. Backlash can be a hit and miss concept, um, especially because it's the first pay-per-view of WrestleMania in a lot of occasions. Um, After WrestleMania, I should say, and depending on the quality the previous, it generally affects backlash. But um, Well, yeah, I actually did like this show. I was a bit sort of cautious going in because I had very mixed thoughts of WrestleMania last month. Um, that was a game of two halves. Um, but I enjoyed it apart from the one match that we'll get into. I just want to address the John Cena announcement here as well, so we can get into the meat and potatoes of the um show. So Cena comes out and he announces the John Cena Classic right before the main event, and the Classic is designed so that NXT stars can get the same benefits as what Obafemi Soroka did on Saturday night's main event. He wants a chance for none of them break out start to emerge. Now, all well and good, and I do actually kind of like the concept. However, it's the second part of the announcement that he stated that I'm kind of like, well, that's a bit bollocks, really voting for a wrestler to win the championship who hasn't won their match. And let me tell you something, guys, about professional wrestling, because I know a lot of you guys just tune in to hear my thoughts, and in some cases hear me going crazy or rants like the last video. But even though wrestling is predetermined, um, pre-mapped out, whatever you want to call it, momentum does matter. And like it just kind of feels like the John Cena Classic title. The second half of his announcement um does actually feel like a participation trophy. And back to what I was saying, championships in any sort of sport, whether it be football, basketball, NFL, all of that, and even wrestling championships are given to the winner, and like having like the wrestlers that get beat actually in the voting does actually um does actually make it sound to look like a participation trophy. Now Cena was very vague about the date of this um about the date of this tournament. So yeah, I think more details are to follow. Um, Also, just what hey guys, if at some point I do change the thumbnail to or sure it's down to TKO's copyright crackdown. So yeah, it's something I'm kind of worried about. I did add the YouTube channel, but not to my Twitter account. It used to be CM Punk sitting down at the press conference with the owner. It's taken from Nicola Ash at the Castle Scotland press conference. But I, I decided to swap that out for the YouTube channel banner just to be on the safe side. Because WWE are getting a bit shady. That's why I deleted a couple of my short paper review sort of takes on the retro stuff off on my Twitter account because I used the event poster underneath and accounts like Fadeaway Media have been purged off Twitter so to protect the account because I know because I basically just use the Twitter account as a way of getting the videos out because I know how shady um I know how shady YouTube is at notifying my subscribers. Um so yeah, that's why I've kinda I've kinda killed my Twitter account because I'm kinda worried about this. Why have TKO just suddenly realised, oh, where the copyright holds there's a WWE content, let's strike them now. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, if they were going to do it, then why didn't they do it before? But in any case, well, let's get into the match card. So we start off guys with obviously Braun Breaker defeating Zephyr Hall and just a regular singles match 21 and it's 26 a lot of but rolling a lot of good moments bro on Breaker's dive over the announce table was line which is the love that clothesline, super kicks galore from Owens. Seth hits the super X. He tries to get it into a Falcon Arrow, but Breaker counter into like a Falcon Arrow of his own. Eerie and Logan Paul get involved, but Rollins is able to make them hurry. Paul Heyman distracts the referee throughout all of this. Seth hits a couple of pedigrees. The stomp can't quite put Breaker away, but he could does hit a few does hit a couple of spears, but the final spear is off the rope. 23 miles an hour, and if you didn't know that, it's on his entrance jacket, but he gets the win. And pretty good opener. Um, and it just cements Breaker's position even further are in the company. He'll be my pick to win Money in the Bank, no, to be honest, because he needs that level of and just to like further say that he's one of the guys moving forward. Um, Owen Reeves did actually say that Rollins is coming up to 40, so he's not getting much time left to the door of opportunities closing. So yeah, very much a youth centric um sort of movement and pay-per-view. Um, but yeah, but he could get the win in a decent match. Trick Williams defends the United States Championship and retains against Sami Zayn in 12 minutes 50 seconds. Now, um, now the gingerbread man stuff I thought was funny at first and it was just a one liner in a promo. Oh, but they went way overboard with that. So yeah, um, but yeah, into the match itself, because I do like Trick despite that, although it does come accompanied by your Orty for this one. Yachty comes out with the Candy King Kendo stick that was used on the Ian during the funeral for the gingerbread man and SmackDown on Friday night. So basically, this was a good match. It had Chirac hit the spin can and the cyclone and the cyclone kick as the aim gets his classical off it. And then you ought to uh, um Yachty does get involved. Zayn beat some down with the cane a bit later on. Or Zayn hits him with a over he gets all the distracted. He gets all distracted with feel Ortiz involvement and Trick hits a trick shot for the win. Just be basically a brief rundown of each match. I don't want to get too in depth because oh, uh, we've got Raw tomorrow to essentially over. But yeah, um, but yeah, I thought that was a decent match as well. Alright, person won, and like Sammy is very clearly heel, but it's still not explicitly on because Chirac still accompanied by obviously your and there was some interference from you or two, but they out of basically they took matters into their own hands. But Chiric's very good, and I expect him to be a star going forward. As I've said, guys, this is more a youth movement style pay-per-view. The commentators like Enria Terese and still not on that world title. It's thrown him off the deep end. And Oregon Reeves actually said tears were running out of chances because obviously he's getting up to being for or tears with also again very eccentric. Then we get to the or Angie shit of the night. Now you all know how much um I don't like the Danhausen cringe by now, but as a person, he comes across as a really nice guy, and like interviews with Chris Van Vliet, and he's well respected within the locker room and well liked in every wrestling company's been in. The problem is so it's segments and moments like this that really do sort of put me off him. He's okay in the ring, it's just the whole enforced comedy fun. So the whole enforced sort of comedy sort of how he's all off audience participation despite being one of the most anti-fan anti-fan of the his and companies on the planet at the minute. But we'll address but we'll address STQ in a separate video. But yeah, so basically the Anna housing comes out obviously in the Dan housing mobile is not alone because it comes out it comes out with the owning machine. Um, so he's the into the uh he's the into the he owns himself, and out comes this money how and you're like that. No, it's WrestleMania segment all over again. And like the match itself was like like uh, not bad until um Danhausen steps back into the warning device and hope unsure I hope unsure edges or sorry vertical a challenge um yeah, eyes come out to us as the the two of them obviously as it goes for the Felix the angry Shorty says to Dan Housen you are us are it back for eyes on him and like Dan Housen gets out to River if the street um Cat Wilson's basic react comedy Joe Auber and um how but he's sort of taking the piss out of the whole soldier hostage warrior culture so I do find him very very funny on occasion but that's the Anhausen stuff it's like oh I maybe it's because I'm kinda more or into like the Chirrick Williams or Ober or Elwyn, right? But Knight's not been featured on or the past couple of weeks. It's not looking good for him. I'm into the more sort of guys like that. Although I do quite like Mr. or a girl Anna down in Tripoli. He's kinda the unlike he check my Agna is just come out of triangle before a vice and all he dra a chose law of ice and to make a very good and popular um and popular ex tag team championship duel. But as I've said, uh, but as I've said on I don't really get all of the sort of ranger doing with the Anhausen and the guy I am so I really nice I it's just I find the whole and it's it's the find the a whole sort of horror Angie shit just insufferable. So I no so so my match number or four then eyes you guy defeats Asuka by Yapa and fall um just a hand of singles match 18 and it's in 7 seconds. Now a lot of people have said just before we fully get into the match guys because I don't want to take too much of your time up but yeah so a lot of people have said Asuka's retired. Other reports say she's semi-retired. To me, yeah, I think it's a semi-retirement because we do kind of see Asuka a kind of a turn back face again and as she can get a actually you sky spoiler and alert guys you sky I um you sky does get the win and here it does kind of tie into what I've said in the two previous she's this is kind of like new generation 2.0 these days in terms of the whole sort of push towards the younger wrestlers. But the match itself I thought was really good. Good offense from Asuka. Attempts to get you on the Asuka. Or, I would like the spot where Asuka get, Asuka as in, Asuka and Io are on top of the table and Asuka Asuka spit smashed but you uses with it are its commentary and wants to kind of blow up the mast enjoyed because as we all know on the Raw Asuka got you of the mast um so yeah so pretty good action Asuka does get you and Asuka or Cuba Chizakiro or face I can mind Io is eventually able to fight it off and hit the insult for on the victory. Really good match. Both wrestlers did to get some good offense and I don't think it's a full retirement because Asuka didn't leave her boots in the ring or anything like that. She just kind of can get actually hated Eel and got a bit of emotional. As we've seen with AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar and Cena, even though year in the ring, in recent times that constitutes a fully fledged retirement. I think Asuka will go into semi-retirement now, and yeah, which is fine. She's she's what my for is so and as I've said, I don't want uh, to keep harping on the point here. But yeah, my previous thoughts on that. But with my match here, and then it's Roman Reigns defeating Jacob at for the World Heavyweight Championship. This match I thought was exceptional. Um, this match I thought was exceptionally well done. Jacob comes out with his own alpha. I advised or it gets Roman in the top on Gendevka up a few times so Roman hits per man on Jacob for under the swing kicks out the spear uh, no, then Jacob hits him and so hits him hits him and so and Simone drop classic offense is plays tribute to the Umaga with the hacks everything you expect from a Samoan match was in here, so it was pretty decent. I do understand Sean's reservations of the storyline, but I personally um enjoy it. I personally this is one of the most this is one of the most enjoyable parts for me at the moment. That and obviously the fatal influence stuff off in SmackDown at the moment, but separate that's a separate issue. But yeah, Roman was able to get to the one and after after all that, but after yeah, but Jacobs then he gets Roman back in it. Honking Death get up and beats him down. And he leaves Roman and he hoists the World Heavyweight Championship. So it looks as though we'll get the rematch. Looks as though we'll get a rematch at Clash in Italy. Eh? Because that's coming up in a couple each time. Of course, this is the fourth sort of European event. I was at the second, and oh, I have never mentioned that before on this YouTube, YouTube channel. Um, so yeah, um, but yeah, guys, moving on, I'm only joking. I make a reference to it constantly, but yeah, this is a fourth Ash event. But yeah, and obviously you have Cody Rhodes and um Unth are informed of that all working informed because we didn't see Unth or sign the contract. But yeah, um, but yeah, decent paper or there 17 and it's for 50 seconds and I really invested in this storyline that and the to influence stuff and to a certain extent and the judgment day sort of independent body or invested and it's just like the Cody Rhodes title and I don't enjoy the Anhausen stuff he just sort of contention for me Uh, and of course, the situation with I not being on the Rory Sinto, he is pissing me off because Knight is still my favourite wrestler or on the or still or but it looks as though his storyline's been cancelled. It's not been on the Raw the past few weeks, and essentially, I think he'll be huge on Endeavour shortly. As I've said, guys, this is new Generation 2.0 now. It's like a Knights in it for or he's so the push towards younger wrestlers also has big on, I think. So I think Knights is a sadly a number, and I don't think we'll get the world title on that I was hoping for him. So yeah, and yeah, you can't have nice things basically. But overall, guys, I'm gonna give this. I'm only give this an 8 out of 10. Pretty solid action. 5 matches. Only two championship matches on the card. The rest are non-title. Oh, and of course we did get the John Cena announcement that I covered near the top of the video. But yeah, 8 out of 10, guys. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you all very soon for on the other view. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all for the next one very soon. Hit the bell to be notified for or any notifications. And yeah, thank you for the support, and I'll see you all very soon.